Have you ever wondered why some men pull away even though things seem to be going very well? In this video, I'm going to discuss 3 behaviors that you might be doing that are pushing men away. If you are ready to break those unhealthy patterns and start to thrive this year, keep on watching. But before we begin, I want to say, hey, Trauma Free Tribe. I am your host and coach, Sia the Transparent Therapist, coaching you to stress less and connect more. If you're not a part of the tribe already, I need you to go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on that little bell notification icon so that you never miss a video, because this year is going to be your best year yet. The first behavior that we might see is you being unaware of your power. Many women don't realize that aggression is not what it takes to move a man into place. Usually it's your influence and your subtlety. Sometimes we feel the need to micromanage and control every bit, but if you do that, that man feels like there is no space for him to have a say, so he takes a step back. When you lean into your natural ability, and yes, natural ability to inspire and influence, everything else might feel a bit more manageable in the relationship. You'll start to see the dynamic shift. Subtlety is not a weakness, sis. It's a powerful form of strength that you have to practice. Now, as a quick reminder, if you're enjoying this so far, I really would love for you to get my worksheet below called Beat the Anxiety Worksheet, where it'll help you walk through how you can stop being so anxious and start being more balanced. Because sometimes when we're aggressive, it's really because we're really anxious, and we don't want that in our relationships. So go ahead and download that Beat the Anxiety guide now. Behavior number 2 is you playing games or acting overly entitled. Let's be real, playing games or acting overly entitled can really push a person away. Sometimes it can come as being overly selfish, and I know you're not a selfish person. And it can scare off even the most well-intentioned man. Good men, and I mean good men, value open communication and consistency, and you being genuine. Not you putting on this facade as if he owes you something, but you really being that gentle being that you know you can be, that nurturer, and him being able to see that side. Now, if you feel entitled and you show your entitlement, that might push a person away. Behaviors, even like acting insecure, overly insecure, can be very off-putting. And sometimes when we're insecure, we have a bad attitude that accompanies it. When you make yourself seem to be intentionally difficult by playing games, men sometimes just don't want to put up with it because it feels very childish. Don't get me wrong, men can do the same, but remember, we're talking about good men here, and we want to match that good energy. We focus on being authentically who we are: appreciative, considerate, very helpful, supportive, and those are things that will continuously attract the relationship and steer it in a good direction. These qualities make for a solid relationship. And behavior number 3, protest behaviors. Protest behaviors are usually behaviors that women use to gain control over men because of an unmet emotional need. Some examples include demanding constant proof of love or withholding sex in your marriage because emotionally, maybe that man hasn't been there for you. But when we do these protest behaviors and we're not using good communication styles, it pushes the relationship further away and drives a wedge inside of the relationship as well. So much so that when we do protest behaviors, there are some women who may use tears as a weapon because we know if that man sees us cry, we have to get what we want. And this hurts because instead of you choosing a genuine expression, you're choosing to use your tears as a weapon. And our goal is never to manipulate anyone. When you use your tears insincerely, these can really deteriorate the relationship and trust, because now you're just going to become the boy that cried wolf. And it creates unnecessary strain. So, what do we do instead of these things? Well, obviously, the root cause is maybe an emotional unmet need. Maybe truly you just need your man or your partner to, or husband, to listen to you, to support you. So instead of acting entitled or overly aggressive or using these protest behaviors, why don't we try communicating openly and honestly? Again, a good man is going to want to hear what you have to say. And chances are, if he doesn't want to hear, he might not be for you. Another thing we can do is address maybe some past trauma in your life. Maybe not with a past partner, but trauma from childhood. And you might have seen some really unhealthy relationships, internalize those unhealthy relationships, and use them as a foundation for your understanding of what a relationship should look like. And maybe that's not right. I would encourage you to seek out a coach or a therapist who can really walk you through the trauma domains that you need to walk through and properly process so that they don't spill out into your relationship. Doing all of this inner work is going to allow you to show up as your authentic self. That genuine woman you know you are, that subtle, influential woman you know you are, not the person that micromanages every single thing. Again, remember, we need that man to be a man. And you need to just be a passenger princess sometimes. So allow him to lead and you be led by a good man as well. Now, disclaimer, please do not allow a man who does not know how to lead you. Ask God for wisdom. Ask him to help you see who is for you and who is not for you. Because the problem is when we start to get led by insecure men, we ourselves become insecure, and that is not God's plan. If you have not already, I'm going to encourage you to download that Beat the Anxiety worksheet. It's in the description box. It's going to help you move through some of these anxious moments you have when you're afraid to be led, when you're afraid to be alone. And so you're doing some of these push and pull activities that might even indicate that your attachment style is probably not the best. And if you haven't watched the attachment style video, I have it in the description box below so that if you identify with any of these styles, you'll know how to move forward. But these behaviors, these three behaviors I listed, make sure we correct them right away if you fall into any of these categories. When we push men away, I know it's not intentional. It's usually just reactive from some of the past hurt or the anxiety we have in relationships. But by becoming self aware and healing from within, we can beat some of these trials and behaviors and connect better with our partners. Which of these behaviors stood out to you the most? I would love to hear. Make sure you drop a comment below, and I'll be sure to start the conversation with you because I am a little nosy. All right, guys, walk good, keep the vibes high, and I will see you in the next video. And be sure to click the next video. Bye.